Hi everyone! In this video we'll be going over verb tenses. We're going to talk about the present, past, and future, and how to use the simple and progressive forms. We're going to be learning how to talk about the past, the present, and the future. So this video will help you use verbs correctly depending on the time you want to talk about. First, let's talk about the present tense. So for the simple form, it's very simple. You just use the base verb. I walk, you walk, we walk, they walk, my friends walk every day. So if the subject is one of these, you're going to use the base form. But if you have he, she, or it, or a singular noun like my friend, you're going to add s to the verb, like he walks every day, she practices every day, it happens every day, my friend studies every day. And sometimes it's going to be es, like practices, if the word ends in an e, or sometimes ies, like study ends in a y, but you're going to drop the y and add ies. So this is the positive or affirmative form when you're making sentences. Now for the negative, you use do not if your subject is I, you, we, they, or some plural noun like I don't walk every day or do not walk. With does not, we use that if the subject is he, she, or it. He doesn't practice every day, or she does not practice every day. Now for questions, you're going to use do, the subject, and then the base verb. Do I walk every day? Does goes with he, she, or it. Does she practice every day? So the thing to remember about simple present is you need to pay attention to the subject. That way you know whether to use the base verb, the s, do, or does. Uses. So how do we use the simple present tense? We use it for general truths. Daily exercise helps improve your health. This is generally true. Habits and routines. I exercise 5 days per week. You'll see words like always, often, usually, sometimes, never. That way you know that this person is talking about a habit or routine. Fixed arrangements. I have a gym membership. I live in San Diego. This is something that's permanent or fixed. He lives close to the gym. Let's practice. Chamomile help or helps you relax? Helps. I have here a singular noun, so I want to add the s. It's like saying it. It helps you relax. Number 2, you need or needs? You need hot water to make tea. Number 3, I drink or I drinks? I drink chamomile sometimes. Number 4, I don't or doesn't drink? I don't drink chamomile every day. But number 5, my mom drinks it more often. This is like saying she. So remember, if you have he, she, or it, or a singular noun, you're going to add the s to the noun, to the verb. Let's now talk about the progressive form. We use am, is, are, and the ing. I am speaking, you are speaking, he is speaking, and you can also contract them. I'm speaking, you're speaking, he's speaking, it's moving. For the negative, you add the not. I am not speaking, and you can contract them, like I'm not speaking, you're not speaking, or you aren't speaking. She's not speaking, she isn't speaking. So that's the negative form. For questions, you're going to put the verb first. Am, are, is. This is the helping verb. Am I speaking? Are you speaking? Is he speaking? Uses. We use present progressive to talk about something happening at the moment, at present. It's not finished, and sometimes it's temporary. Like, I am preparing tea right now. The teacher is talking about verbs. I'm taking an ESL class. What are you doing right now? I'm watching this video. So this is how we use it. It's something happening right now. You'll see words like at the moment, at present, and right now. We also use the present progressive to talk about a planned future event. Are you taking ESL classes in the fall? I'm taking ESL 105 next semester. So here I'm talking about the future, but you can use the present continuous when it's planned. What are you doing tonight? I'm making pizza. Come over. Let's practice. I love or am loving. I love. This is a general truth that I love bright colors. I shop or I am shopping for a new shirt at the moment. I am shopping. This is happening at the moment. Next week I go or am going. I am going. This is a future plan. Now let's talk about the past tense. The past tense is pretty easy. You just add ed at the end of the verb. We learned a lot last semester. The students learned a lot last semester. It doesn't matter what the subject is. You'll have ed. However, we have a lot of irregular past tense verbs. Like take, the past tense is took. Have, had. Was, were. Or go, went. You can study these irregular verbs. You can find them all over the internet on websites, and I'll provide a link. Now to make the negative, you use did not or didn't and the base verb. I didn't forget, or the students did not forget. So I have did not, and here I have the base verb. You don't want to use the past tense, okay? You're going to use the base verb. For questions, you're going to use did, the subject, and the base verb. Did you understand the lesson? So I have did, the subject you, and understand. This is my base verb. The past tense is understood, but again, I'm using just the base verb with negatives and questions. Let's talk about the uses. We use simple past for completed past actions or events. I left my country in 2013. This is finished, and this happened in the past. Common words are last, last night, last week, a month ago, a week ago, 2 days ago, yesterday, in 2014. We also use simple past to talk about habits in the past. I walk to school every day. This is something that happened in the past that you used to do repeatedly. Also, we use it for a duration in the past. I lived in Sacramento for 3 years. Now, in other languages, you might use the progressive, like I was walking or I was living. But in English, we use the simple past for these habits or a duration. Another common phrase we use in English is used to. When I was a child, I used to ride my bike everywhere. I used to play soccer with friends. When I was a young adult, I used to go to parties. I used to smoke. This means you don't do these things anymore. We have a lot, like I mentioned, we have a lot of irregular verbs, and I'll post links for you to practice those. Let's talk about the progressive past now. So to make the past progressive, we use was, the verb, and ing, like I was improving, or he was improving, she was improving, it was improving, or a singular noun, the student was improving. So we use was. However, you can also use were. You're going to use were if the subject is you, we, they, or a plural subject, like the students. You were improving, or the students were improving. So basically you have was and were and the ing. To make a negative, you're going to use was not or wasn't and were not and the ing. The student was not studying all day, or the students were not studying all day. And to make a question, you're going to use was, the subject, and ing, or were, the subject and ing. Was she doing the homework? Or were you participating in class? Uses. We use it to show parallel actions. While he was living in LA, I was working with my brother. So these two things were happening at the same time, living and working. You can use it for interrupted actions. While we were working, he had an accident. So this was happening, we were working, and then the accident interrupted this event in progress, this work. We also use it for emphasis on the length of action or repetition. I was gardening all day, so I want to emphasize that it was continuing, it was all day. Or he was always coming late to work. Sometimes we use it when we're complaining. He's always lying. He was always lying. So those are the three ways we use the past progressive. Let's practice. Last month I went shopping or was shopping for a gift. Here you could use both. You could say it's a completed action, or if you want to emphasize the duration, you could use the progressive. While I shopped or was shopping, I took or was taking a picture. I would say was shopping because this was in progress. And then this interrupted it. I took a picture because I couldn't decide which t-shirt to buy. So while I was shopping, I took a picture and sent it to my friend. I didn't buy or wasn't buying. I'm going to say I didn't buy because this is a finished event. I didn't buy the pink one. I bought the orange shirt. I'm going to use the simple past. This is an irregular one. It's the past tense of buy. Buy, bought. I bought the orange shirt. Finally, let's talk about the future. The future, you can use will in the base form. We will learn English, or we'll learn English. You can use a contracted form. Or am, is, are, going to, and the verb. I'm going to learn English. You, we, they are going to learn English. He, she, it is going to learn English. So to decide one of these, you have to know what the subject is. You could make a negative. You just add not in both cases. We will not give up or won't give up. I am not going to give up. The class isn't going to give up. You can make a question. Will you study? So you put will, the subject and the verb, or am, is, are, subject, going to, and verb. Are you going to study? Sometimes you hear this word gonna. She's gonna be late. This is like saying she's going to be late. This is because we speak quickly in English, and sometimes we blend going to gonna. This is informal and it's usually not written. Simple future, how do we use it? Will and be going to often have the same meaning. It just means we just use it for the future. Like, we will have vegetables for dinner tonight, or we're going to have vegetables for dinner tonight. This means the same thing. Common words you'll see are tomorrow, in the future, tonight, next week. But be going to, we often use for a prior plan. Like, they are going to work in La Jolla tomorrow. This is planned. It was arranged. Will, we often use for present moment decisions. Like, if you don't have money, don't worry. I'll buy lunch for you. This wasn't a prior plan. I made the decision right at that moment. In those cases, we use will. Let's practice. If you can't do your homework, I'll help you. I made this decision at the moment of speaking. Tomorrow, I am going to get tutoring with Melissa. This is my plan. So we'll delete this to right here. That's a mistake. I'm going to get tutoring with Melissa. So this is a plan, so I'm going to use going to. Number 3. I am going to improve or I will improve my English. A lot of times we can just use both and they mean the same thing. The last thing I want to talk about is future progressive. It's not as common in English, but I'll briefly go over it. It's will, be, and the ing verb. Our class will be meeting twice a week. Or am, is, are, going to, be, and the ing verb. We are going to be meeting twice a week. You add not, our class will not be meeting every day. Or you can add not here, we are not going to be meeting every day. And then to make a question is the same as the other, the future simple future. Will we be meeting on Fridays? Are we going to be meeting on Fridays? How do we use the future progressive? There are 4 continuous future events. When he is in Los Angeles, he will be staying with friends. This will be going on for a duration. Or something unfinished, or that will be in progress. At this same time tomorrow, we'll be driving through the desert. This will be in progress at that time. It's not going to be finished. Next Monday, you'll be working at your new job. Sometimes we use it to be polite, like, will I be sleeping in this room? What will he be doing at 1 p.m. tomorrow? This guy right here. He will be surfing. So this will be in progress. He is going to be surfing at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so that was an overview of the present, past, and future. I hope you have a better understanding of the verb tenses. Don't worry if you don't know it all. It just takes practice and review. Come see me if you have questions. I can review any part of this lesson with you again, and I can recommend websites to get extra practices with verb tenses. Thanks for watching.